Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. If you are listening to this right now, I want to say to you congratulations because you have survived a notable crypto shakeout. Now, at this particular moment in time, what is most probable? Well, I've seen from all sorts of analysts that what's most probable is that we see Bitcoin move to the upside. There's a reasonable likelihood, many analysts say, that the bottom is in regarding the local crash that we've just seen over the last couple days. And it's been pretty gnarly last couple days, right? It's definitely been pretty rough out there. But I will tell you this, it's nowhere near the worst that I've seen. Having been in crypto since late 2017, my gosh. For those of you that were around in March of 2020, pandemic era crash, whoa. You know what I'm talking about. When XRP cratered down to 10 cents, not so fun times. Now, I wasn't freaking out then, and that was way worse than this. I'm certainly not freaking out now. In fact, I bought more crypto. I'll talk about that briefly. But let's talk about what's going on. And I'll tell you this. Listen to this video, and if you're a little bit concerned about what's going on, well, admittedly, nobody knows for sure what's going to happen. Yeah, of course, the market could tank further to the downside. I think after this video, if you're concerned about that, you're probably going to be feeling a good bit better because, well, A, not only is it probable that's not going to occur, according to many analysts, but also, B, I just want to reiterate that even if it does, it doesn't change what's happening on a higher time frame. In terms of what's intact structurally, yeah. We are not at the top of this market cycle. Pullbacks are normal. This is not crazy. And so as we got this drop to the downside, lots of people freaking out. I'm having fun with this. Like, I don't know about you guys. Like, I talked about the potential for this to happen a couple days ago, and little did I know, like 12 hours later, we'd start to see the market tank, because you don't know the timing for sure, but I just saw all sorts of analysts saying, hey, red flags everywhere. Might be happening. Made a video about it. It did happen. Not the end of the world. So we'll talk about Bitcoin specifically. We will talk about what's happening with alts in a broad sense, what we can generally expect, and also XRP specifically. Because I understand, look, XRP, the lowest I personally saw the other day was 44 cents, which, you know, if you told people that when it was more recently at what, 73 cents not that long ago, whether it was, how long ago was that? Was it like 6 weeks ago? I can't remember now. All the days blur together. But, you know, if you had told people at that point as they're buying their 73, whatever it was, cent XRP, that in short order after that, it would drop as low as 44 cents. People would lose their ever-loving minds. But it's not a problem with XRP. It's the entire damn market. My God, what a bloodbath in crypto the last couple days. So I just took advantage of it because when there's a capitulation event, I tend to just buy. And that's what I did. So at the time I'm recording this, by the way, in case anybody's curious, it is 12:51 a.m. Central Time. So it is now Monday, Monday, April 15th, 2024, and XRP's hovering a little over 50 cents, Bitcoin at $65,574. You got the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 74 out of 100, so despite this pullback, the market's still in greed, which I don't mind seeing, that's cool, but I'm telling you, if you're on social media, oh my God, people losing their ever-loving minds, you know. But I think the reason it comes across like that, because, so, look, yes, there's, I get it. It's on your screen right now. We're in greed, and this particular website tracks what greed is, looking at a number of metrics, not just what people are posting on social media, but I'm telling you, the most fearful people in crypto, those speculators, they are the loudest. I'm telling you. It doesn't mean that everyone or necessarily even most people are fearful, but wow, it's noticeable. And so as prices were cratering on Saturday, April 13th, I shared this post at 4:20 p.m. I wrote, and I was just having a little fun with this because it's ridiculous, and I just warned that this could happen. And not because I'm some sort of wizard. I'm not even a chart guy. I follow reputable chart analysts, and then I look at, I consider like each analyst basically like a data point, and then I see, do a lot of analysts agree? Because when there's a lot of overlap, what I've found over the years is that when there's a lot of overlap in terms of what's going to happen with these reputable analysts, there's actually a really reasonable chance it's going to happen, though not always. Because when we're talking about chart analysis, it's about probability, and sometimes the improbable happens. So it is what it is. And so I noticed that. So then when this did happen in short order after I reported on this, It's cratering down. I looked at the prices crashing, and I couldn't help but laugh. I mean, you got to have a positive attitude about this. Like, I thought it's silly, the timing of it all, and I know how ridiculous, and I know how humans are when this happens. So all I could do is just kind of chuckle about it, because I know it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't actually matter. You know, the market's not going to zero. It's not like the bull market's over. None of that crap. That is not the case. And so I wrote in all caps, "Let it all burn." And I shared this Bitcoin price chart. Bitcoin at the time, 62,000, and it got it got to the lower 60,000s. It did. And then 6 minutes later, I posted this XRP price chart, because it moved down in tandem with the rest of the market, led by Bitcoin. And I was just joking around here. In all caps, I wrote, "Leave nothing but ashes, XRP, 45 cents. And it did get a little bit, it was a little bit lower than that right before I posted that. It got as low as, the lowest I saw was 44 cents anyway. So I'm just laughing because it's so ridiculous. And I know, like, for all of you that have been in XRP for years, like, again, you have a positive attitude, because, like, I think that all you can do reasonably in a situation like this is laugh. And the part of the reason I'm able to do that is because I absolutely recognize that what is happening in terms of price action right here, despite it massively moving down, this in and of itself is not an indication of the long-term viability of XRP. This in and of itself is also not an indication of the degree to which XRP will perform by the end of this market cycle. We don't choose when this stuff happens. It is what it is. XRP moves in tandem. People get upset because other coins are doing better. Well, it's true of every coin, though. Compare any coin to some other coin, and if it hasn't run yet, then yeah, it's going to look like crap. But it doesn't matter. This, in and of itself, does not mean anything. Not to me, because I'm a long-term holder. That's it. And I treat XRP this way, but I treat every coin that I hold this way. And I hold 42 cryptocurrencies currently, which is a little ridiculous, but I've been here a while. I just hold. I've been holding my Bitcoin from 2017, my ETH, my XRP, you name it. I just hold. I don't choose when this stuff pops off. I understand when this happens. It doesn't matter. This is not an indication of anything detrimental for the long term. To me, it just meant that there was opportunity. And so when we had the last dip, when was that anyway? Was that like a little over a month ago? I'd have to go. Well, anyway. I talked about what I did at the time. I ended up buying, it ended up being a total of 12 cryptocurrencies that I purchased. There was 11. I made a video talking about that, and then I did one separate one after that. So 12 in total, because I was like, well, I got money. It's got to be invested somewhere anyway. I feel sufficiently enticed. I didn't feel like I needed to top off my bags, but I just bought some stuff. Now, in this case, I've had a busy week, and I've had a great weekend. It was mostly a non-crypto weekend for me personally. I had not just a date night with my girlfriend, I had basically a date weekend. We haven't had a weekend like this where we're just her and I, and it was fantastic. We had lots of fun. We did all sorts of fun stuff. And so I wasn't focused on crypto, but when I did look at my phone, I noticed the stuff, and so I was out and about. I had to make a few posts, and I showed her, and we were just kind of laughing about it, because she gets it too, how it doesn't mean anything in the long term. And so, well, that was the case. But, I would just say that after having some fun laughing about this stuff, and then after having a little bit of downtime last night, not much because I was tired and I wanted to go to sleep, I did take a look at a couple different cryptocurrencies, but I didn't want to go line by line, all the ones I hold, to see what had pulled back the most. And I thought, you know what? I own Chainlink. I've been holding Chainlink since 2017, and I looked at it. And here, actually, I'll just show you the chart, because this is what I bought. I only bought one coin because I just don't care. I don't need more crypto, but I was like, okay, twist my arm. You kind of enticed me enough. I bought it around, I think, last night, about 24 hours ago, $13.70, something like that. It's a hair above that now. It doesn't matter. But that's about the price level that Chainlink was at as it was coming out of accumulation towards the end of 2023. So I was like, well, okay, it's about there. And I haven't bought Chainlink since 2017. And I could have bought it back, last summer around $5 or $6, but I hold a lot of coins. I can't buy everything. It is what it is. But since I have more money, because I keep earning more money, it's got to go somewhere. Okay, I was like, fine, you enticed me, and I bought something. I really don't need more crypto. I'm ready for this to just take off. But again, if you twist my arm, fine. I'll buy some crap. Let's do it. But I shared this post, and this might sound a little silly to you guys, but here's what I wrote. I just bought some Chainlink. Last time I bought it was 2017, and it was 25 cents, which I still hold. This is capitulation, though, so I bought. And folks, that's that. I didn't have more time. I was exhausted at the end of the day. I mean, look at this post. It was 12:59 a.m. That was that. I'm done. I bought one thing, but it was a fairly large purchase, I would say. Subjectively, that's to me, yep, it's meaningful what I just purchased, but I hadn't bought it since then. And it's funny because this coin actually, this is the greatest multiple I've ever had being in crypto for a little over 6 years, because I bought it at 25 cents. It peaked at, let's see, a little over $50. Yeah, $52.85. So a little over a 400-fold increase. And man, I'm just holding it. And you can make fun of me for that, but this is just what I do. I hold everything. I hold Bitcoin from back then. I hold ETH from back then. I hold XRP from back then. I hold Chainlink. This is it. And so eventually, I just figured when there's a market cycle where it's enough for me, where I'm going to get enough multiplier effect, it's going to be life changing. That's when I'd sell. And I'm expecting this market cycle to do it. So you can make fun of me for not selling previous highs. I don't care. I've talked about it in depth. I don't want to say much more about that than this in this video that I had. But yeah, so fine. Totally got me there. Came down enough where I'm enticed. And I know a lot of you were purchasing all sorts of different things, because I asked about that in a separate post, not pulling up for the purpose of this video. But, I mean, look, this coin went down. It lost like 33% of its recent high. So like, what was that? 22, yeah, close to $22 and a little over a month ago. So I was like, okay, easy decision. So I did something. Now, the blockchain backer, he's one of the guys that was warning that we're going to see a drop like this. And so on Saturday in the afternoon, he wrote, "Got cash? Me too. But it's fading as I'm starting to accumulate these levels. 702 rejected it violently, a constant concern. We watched it for months. Wasn't fun for me or you. I saw the viewer numbers. Now we can return to looking for optimism and reversals up." And then he reposted that. And this is the 13th also, in the afternoon. He wrote, "Unfortunately, I'm not home, so you're getting the classic chart from phone for this one." Not sure I've ever done that before. Anyway, concept for me to start accumulating is where the market cap arrived. This is a COVID crash-ish. Yeah, so it's violent. It's to the downside. We knew that there was a good chance that this was going to happen. It's certainly not as bad as the COVID drop, but still meaningful for a lot of people. Enough that even I bought some, and I'm like, I'm ready to have it take off so I can just sell everything and have the life-changing wealth. But even me, even though I feel like my bags are packed, like, well, entice me enough, and as I'm okay. And so the blockchain backer was kind of thinking along those lines in terms of does it make sense to purchase here? And for him, the answer was yes. And so he has. So take that for what it's worth. I think that makes sense. I buy capitulation events. That's what I do. And I talked about this in November when FTX collapsed. Everybody was panicking. A bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. And I bought a bunch of stuff. I talked about what I bought. And I'm glad I did, because it's worth way more than that now. When people are fearful, that's the time to buy. And it feels icky and bad, and it makes you feel like you're an idiot for buying as it's low. That's what it does to people, broadly speaking. I mean, I used to be like that. I'm not like that now. But those are the times where, broadly speaking, like, it does make sense to do so. It's more scary in those moments. Here's a post from chart analyst Credible Crypto. And this is one of the reasons that I was saying, like, and same for the blockchain backer too, like the sign of optimism there for good reason. Well, Credible Crypto, he's thinking that, maybe this is the point where actually things are going to start moving to the upside. And so I had a couple things from him. The first one, he's talking about the drop in 2020 and the drop in 2018. So check this out. 100%. And he's responding to somebody else's reply where they were sharing their story about what happened during the pandemic crash in 2020. And he wrote, "COVID crash was one of the worst. The only other time I think S-word went that sideways that fast was a drop from $6,000 to $3,000 in 2018. And so about Bitcoin. When BitMEX, the Binance of that time, S-worded the bed and went down because their liquidation engine got overloaded from the sell pressure. If you think yesterday was panic/fear, you ain't seen nothing. Yeah, and so I agree with that. I've seen much worse than what we just went through, but still, it scares people. It just does. There's this post from Credible Crypto, and this is where he's saying, yeah, we're going to go much higher. He wrote, about half the bids were filled, and then we popped back to the upside. And let me pause to note also, this was just, what, a little over, yeah, about 6 hours ago. So 6:18 p.m. Central Time on the 14th, Sunday. He wrote, again, about half the bids were filled, and then we popped back to the upside. Now the remaining bids, plus some more, have just been moved up. Meanwhile, spot's still trading at a premium. Suffice it to say, I think we are going higher. Smiley face. Then there was also this from chart analyst Blunts. Now this was shared on the 13th, so that'd be Saturday at 3:19 p.m. And this was basically right as we're pretty close to the bottom at that point. And he wrote, we got to the sweep. I think that's the low. So again, that was Saturday afternoon. Then he posted the following day at 5:35 p.m. So this is Sunday, the 14th. He wrote, it was. So and by the way, Blunts here, he is one of the analysts that was warning, hey, we're going to have a pretty big drop. He's one of the analysts that I highlighted a couple days ago saying, yeah, this is probably going to be a pretty big drop. And we got it. That was it. That did occur. He thinks that that's it in its totality, though, in terms of downside action. And now we just go to the upside. And of course, nobody knows for sure. Like I said earlier on in the video, it's fine. It's possible. Nobody knows for sure. Sometimes the improbable happens. Maybe we keep diving further, but that doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean that crypto is no longer viable or any individual coin is no longer viable for the long haul. That's not what this means. It's we are in a bull market, and in bull markets, there are still shakeout events. That is what this is. That's it. It's really not more complex than that. Here's a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez, and he posted this a little less than 12 hours ago, 2:47 p.m. Central Time, Sunday the 14th. He wrote, the Bitcoin realized profit/loss ratio has fallen below 1, suggesting that investors are currently realizing more losses than profits. Historically, this trend has indicated a local bottom for Bitcoin over the past 6 months. And so now you have another analyst independently coming to the conclusion that, yeah, that was pretty much it. That was the low. We just saw it. That's it. And again, none of them know for sure. There are no guarantees in any of this. It's just fascinating to see multiple analysts come to very similar conclusions, and sometimes for a little bit different reasons, actually. I find it fascinating and useful. Now let's talk about altcoins and also XRP specifically. So this is the last Bitcoin specific, followed by altcoin post. This comes from chart analyst Jelly, and he wrote, Bitcoin still holds key levels, looks primed, stick to the plan. And he posted that 11 hours ago. And then he wrote, altcoins got murdered. Flight to safety makes sense when World War III headlines dominate the news. And folks, I am not going to be commenting on that. That is not the purpose of this channel. I'm sure that you're all aware by now, and if not, I don't know, go to any sort of mainstream media outlet and you can see exactly what's being discussed there. Not for me to comment on this channel. I'm talking about finance and crypto specific stuff. Just noting that, yeah, there's some stuff that has been impacting markets. I'm going to leave it at that, though. And then he said, they'll probably take some time to recover, but, and he's talking about altcoins here, but if Bitcoin enters price discovery, which I expect will happen in the next month or so, they'll do well too. Patience is the key. Yes, it is. Patience is the key, which is why my whole plan is to buy stuff and then do precisely nothing, which I'm good at doing nothing, folks. I've been doing nothing for 6 years. After buying, I do nothing. It's been a fantastic plan. Broad exposure to the asset class, and then just sit back. That's it. And people can make fun of me for not selling and this and that. I don't care. I don't care. I have very strict requirements for me that I set way back in the day when I jumped into crypto, and I am being very strict with myself in how I treat this stuff. And so you could say, could have done this or that. I don't care. I don't give a damn. You do your plan. I'm doing my plan. My plan is I buy and then I don't do anything unless one day it's worth so much that I'm finally enticed to sell. That is it, period. Here's a post from chart analyst Tech Dev. Altcoin accumulation, the most vertical leg since 2021 appears on deck. So as far as altcoins, anticipating a major move. And he did post this at 8:10 a.m. on Saturday, so before we saw that drop, the Saturday drop, which it is 2 days in a row of drops. But he reposted this, so he clearly has the conviction. So after the most recent drop, just on Sunday, he reposted this. He still believes that's the case. So you can see, if you're looking on the screen where I'm circling right now, this is where we are. But you can see that he's also highlighting this is equivalent to where we were in 2021, right before some major moves upward for altcoins. And what he has here is the crypto market cap, excluding the top 10 coins. And you can see he also highlighted the equivalent in for the market cycle before that in 2016, in 2017. Then there was this post from Mikey Bull Crypto. Definitely has a pretty similar expectation here to TechDev. He wrote, altcoins market cap perfectly following the previous alt season path, bouncing off the support band as it did in 2020 before it exploded upward. And mind you, last market cycle too, we had some major pullbacks. Same here. We are in bull mode, folks. Like this, that's what I believe. This pullback doesn't change anything. Not to the negative. I mean, it's just, it is what it is, and we're going to see a continuation to the upside, whether it's right now or a little bit later. Even if the improbable happens and we go a little bit lower, okay, whatever. It's not going to change what I'm doing. I'm just tracking it because I have skin in the game, and as a result of that, it's fun to track this on a regular basis and run this YouTube channel talking about crypto. I have a blasty blast with this stuff. Here's a post from Mikey Bull Crypto talking about XRP specifically. This is an XRP price chart in USD on your screen. And you wrote XRP. This seems like a last trough point like in 2017 before the explosive upward move. And I want to reiterate, because I've been talking about this concept ad nauseum in recent weeks, and probably fair to say months especially. I understand how dismal XRP looks if you price it in Bitcoin. I get that. I understand. If the XRP BTC pair. I'll say again, these moments where it looks that abysmal, those are the moments before it takes off. Now, in this case, of course, he's got an XRP USD chart, but still, compare it to what had happened in the past. You can see the point that he's making here. Eventually, there does come a time where there is an actual bottom, unless you think that XRP just, because reasons, won't be participating in this crypto rally. But other altcoins do? Like what? We just don't have Altseason? Like, what are you even getting at here? No, XRP is part of the asset class. Of course, if we have an Altseason, XRP will be part of it because it's part of the asset class. Don't overcomplicate this. Then we have this from chart analyst E. Greg Crypto talking about XRP, and that's an XRP price chart on your screen in USD. He says, XRP is showing a wicked move with the bulls defending fiercely on the weekly time frame to close above 50 cents. This potential lower high is still ascending the channel, indicating a strong structural formation that remains mega bullish. It's a live time setup and trade opportunity. XRP Army, stay steady. If you were waiting for a dip to buy, this might be your opportunity. And so, despite the fact that the other day, XRP got as low as 44 cents, weekly close above 50 cents. And that's pretty much where it is right now as I record this video. XRP's fine. It really is. I understand it's at a lower price than it would be had the SEC not attacked it, because there are all sorts of people that don't own XRP that would have, because of last market cycle, had that nonsense not occurred. But it's still in the top 10 which is amazing. It's still in the top 10 coins by market cap for over a decade. It's always been in the top 10. That's amazing. And when it runs, it runs. It just does. You don't choose it. I don't choose when it happens. But if we're going to have a full-blown mania session here in the world of crypto, XRP is going to be a part of it. That's what I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I would be really shocked if that's the case. So we're going to find out together. But I'm excited for this. I just, you know what? I'm glad I got me some more Chainlink. Haven't bought it since it was 25 cents. Paid way more per Chainlink, over 6 years later, but that's fine. And you might be like, well, wait, how do you feel? How do you feel clean doing that even? You bought it for 25 cents, Moonland, but what are you doing buying it at almost 14 bucks? Well, it's quite simple. I think it's going to be worth more than what I just paid for it. That's it. I'm not going to let the fact that I once bought it at a cheaper price deter me from putting money I recently earned into it because I do believe it's going to go higher. And so I'm not going to expect some sort of crazy multiplier effect. Like from here, so fine. I'm not expecting a 400x from this point, But if from this point I get, a 4 or 5x, I don't know, 6x, something like that. Maybe getting into new all-time high territory, that'll be enough for me. Maybe I'll finally just sell it. Or at least the portion that I just bought. Why not? It was just icing on the cake anyway. I'm ready for this thing to go, folks. So tell me how you guys are holding up there. What did you guys buy? I'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. What coins did you purchase? And I'd love to hear what you think about all this, whether or not you think that the bottom's in, at least for this portion, in a local time scale, a shorter time frame. It seems like there's a real good chance it is. Either way, again, even if it's not the end of the world. The bull run is not over, okay? But I'll wrap up here. I'm going to sleep. I'm kind of tired. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.